Okay, so this supercapacitor has been powering this motor for over 1 hour so far. And I'll continue to run it. This is the first long run test I've done with this supercapacitor. Okay, so what I have here is a supercapacitor. It's using graphene and activated carbon, and I've been working on some smaller ones. I've made a lot of these in different variations, and this is the largest one I made to date. You can see it's holding around 5 volts. It'll drop down to 4.5 volts or so. I just charged it here. But yeah, let me go ahead and connect it up to some stuff, and you can see what it can do. Okay, so we have one of the USB light bulbs, and I went ahead and removed the USB plug on here so that I can just plug it in and test. But so far, it's lighting those up just fine. So that is encouraging. You know, the first ones that I made, this one would run small motors. It would run this motor, and I'll show some of the clips of the history leading up to this. And you can kind of see the progression. But I have tested all kinds of configurations. I've been on the phone with Robert Murray Smith. I'm going to put a link to his ebook in this video description. You can check that out. That ebook had a lot of the information that got me up and running. But anyway, connected up to the light. I'm going to go ahead and connect it to the fan here, and you'll see the it does have enough energy to spin up the fan. So that's pretty cool. I really didn't know if it would run something of this size. And then I'll go ahead and connect it up here to the smaller motor. And you can see how it runs this little guy. Because it's higher voltage, it really takes off on that. Let me see if I can grab something to show you what I'm talking about. It's got some serious torque on this little guy. You could about hook up a small saw blade on this, or a sander. But anyway, that's where I'm at. It charges very quick. Usually I can charge this in about 10 seconds. Okay, so I've completely discharged this supercapacitor, and I've got it connected here to the motor right now. Now I'm just going to charge it. I'm basically going to spike this. I've got my power supply set at 30 volts, 5 amps. I'm just going to spike this with a 10-second charge. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. All right, that's approximately a 10-second charge. So after charging this for about 10 seconds, we can connect it back up, and off we go. We're up and running again. So that quick chargeability, you know, that's really one of the areas that these supercapacitors shine. Yeah. So anyway, I've been experimenting with supercapacitors, as you know, if you follow my YouTube channel, for quite some time, using it to start cars, all kinds of applications. But I never really thought that I could make my own supercapacitors easily. And I really want to thank Robert Murray Smith for the work he's done and shared so freely on this. And I'll continue on to, you know, share everything I can about making these as I perfect, you know, the recipe and the construction method and all of that. Okay, I'm sure you're going to wonder about the electrolyte. I'm using this phosphoric acid. Got this off Amazon. So anyway, like I said, in the future I'll have some videos going over this, construction methods, all of that. But for now, that's where I'm at with this.
Esta tradução está sendo útil? Espero que sim. Se inscreva e curta LegDub Universe. E contribua com o canal, faça Pix, R$10 mensais, ou como preferir ajudar. Obrigado. E continue assistindo.
So the construction of this was pretty simple, and you can see here the 2 conductor plates here. But I went ahead and got some Plasti-Dips material, and that stuff worked really well. You know, I got this stuff right here. And I just went ahead and sealed this. Now this first one I made, I never sealed it, and it dried out inside, it quit working as well. But this one is completely sealed, and I think that's going to make a huge difference in its life and longevity. So anyway, so going into the construction method, and at this point I'm just going to link to Robert Murray Smith's ebook. But as I improve and come up with something that's easily reproduced and, you know, cheap to make, I'm going to go ahead and make a step-by-step how to build a supercapacitor video, and I'll try to make it as clear and simple as possible. But what we got here is the conductor, and I really just mixed onto the conductor some of this graphene powder. And you know, in the future when we get the how to build video, I'll get links and I'll make a proper web page on just that. But this is a graphene powder, and it's different than the ultra-fine graphite powder and things of that nature. I'm experimenting with all of that as well, but I mixed this with some polyurethane as a binder and painted it right onto this, so the whole surface here. And then I take activated charcoal that I grind down into certain, little granular pieces, and I'll put some photos on here. You can see what I'm talking about. But you take this and you dust it, and while it's still wet, and that binds it into the binder, and you kind of get a lot of surface area. Okay, so one of the reasons I am so excited about supercapacitor technology, and especially these ones that you can make yourself easily, is that I believe we can make these really thin and build them right into the back of a solar panel. So I can create a Solar-in-One device that has the energy storage built right into the back surface of the solar panel. So I'm sure you can kind of see where I'm heading with that. Okay, so here's one other test I want to do. I have a DC to DC converter hooked up here running to my inverter, my 12 volt inverter. This is in no ways 12 volts coming off this. So I'm having to boost it up with this boost converter. But test to see if it powers up the inverter. Almost. That is right on the edge. So I'm still too low probably in the voltage here. If I had 2 of these in series, I bet I could power that right up. But at this point, throwing a jewel ringer on here would probably power it up. Could get rid of using this. But anyway, almost got enough to power up this, 8-watt light bulb or whatever. Runs the little USB light bulb just fine in my experience. So I'll go ahead and connect that through the converter here and see if that powers up.
Esta tradução está sendo útil? Espero que sim. Se inscreva e curta LegDub Universe e contribua com o canal. Faça Pix, R$10 mensais ou como preferir ajudar. Obrigado. E continue assistindo.
I ran it earlier with just directly, but this should give it a boost in voltage. Yeah, look at that. So runs that just fine. And anyway, that's really going to be it for this video. Let's all keep experimenting. Let's keep sharing the stuff we find, collaborating together, and yeah, maybe we can make this world a better place.